Let me ask you something. Have you had one of those days where you did everything right? You planned your time, blocked your calendar, stayed away from distractions, but by the end of the day, it felt like you got nothing done. I have been there too. It's frustrating, right? We often blame it on a lack of discipline or poor time management. In fact, for the longest time, time management was considered the most important key to being productive. Do you remember the era where time management was the buzzword? There were so many books, seminars, planners, and techniques all focused around managing time better. The idea was that if you could block your hours effectively, then you could get more done. Yes, it worked to some extent, but if time was all we needed, then everyone with a calendar would be successful. That's when people started talking about something more important: energy management. Now that makes more sense. You see, your energy isn't constant throughout the day. You have certain times when you feel focused, energetic, and sharp, and other times when you're naturally tired and scattered. The trick is to match your most important or most difficult task with your energy peak. That's a smarter way to work, and I completely agree with that. But here's something most people don't talk about, and it's a game changer. There's one more kind of energy we often overlook. Can you guess what that is? It's the energy of the space around you. Yes, your surroundings, the direction you face, and even where your workspace or study area is located in the house all affect how productive and focused you feel. This is where Vaasthu Shastra comes into play. Namaskar, I'm Archna Murthy, a professional Vaasthu consultant with years of experience helping people align the energy of their space to support their prosperity and productivity. And today, I want to talk to you about that crucial missing energy that could completely change how productive you feel. Not just temporarily, but every single day. According to Vaasthu Shastra, each direction has a particular quality. And when your work or study space is aligned correctly, it supports your mental clarity and productivity. Yes, the room you work or study in has its own energy. The direction you're facing, the part of the house you're in, it all plays a role in how focused, calm, or distracted you feel. There are days when you feel in the zone, focused, fast, and not at all drained after a long day of work. And then there are days when you are just dragging, your thoughts are scattered, and everything takes twice as long. Why does that happen? Of course, physical health and mental well-being matter, but here's something else at play too: directional energy, as described in Vaasthu Shastra. This isn't a coincidence. It's directional influence, something our ancestors understood deeply and documented in the science of Vaasthu Shastra. Let's say you're working or studying while facing the east. According to Vaasthu Shastra, east is associated with the energy of the rising sun, inspiration, clarity, and focus. It supports intellectual activity. If you're a student or someone who needs to ideate, concentrate, or plan, facing east helps align your mental energy with the energy of the space. You will find yourself less distracted and even immersed in your task. But what if you're facing south? That's a completely different story. South-facing workspaces often lead to lethargy, dullness, disinterest, and even a tendency to postpone. You may sit down with the intention to work, but somehow you will keep finding excuses to take breaks or push things to later. I have seen this happen with students too. A child might be called lazy or distracted, but when we shift their study table to face east or north, suddenly their concentration improves. It's not magic, it's Vastu. Now, someone might ask, okay Archana, so I just have to face east and everything will be perfect. Not exactly. While the direction you face is important, it's just one piece of the puzzle. The location of the room in your house also matters. Let me explain. Imagine you have placed your study desk in the southeast corner of the house. That's called the Agni Sthana, the fire zone. This area naturally has more aggressive, agitated energy. It's great for kitchens or places where transformation happens through fire. But it's not ideal for focus or calm thinking. If you try to study or work in this space, you may feel restless, impatient, or even get into arguments with people around you. You wouldn't sit inside a furnace to study, right? The energy is too active and sharp to promote calm thinking or focus. The goal is simple: don't fight the energy of the space. Align with it. If you combine time management, energy management, and spatial alignment, you will stop fighting against the tide. Instead, you will find yourself flowing with the current, working with ease, and ending the day feeling fulfilled rather than drained. Because real productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters with focus and joy. This is the wisdom our Shastras have handed down to us. Not just spiritual insight, but practical everyday guidance to live and work better. Vaasthu gives you a scientific and time-tested blueprint to align your space so that you are productive without feeling burnt out. The modern world is finally catching up with what our ancients always knew, that your external space affects your internal energy, and when both are in sync, your potential is limitless. So take a moment and ask yourself, which direction am I facing while working or studying? Where is my desk or study table placed in the house? Is the energy of that space supporting my goals or silently working against them? Small shifts like changing direction or relocating your workspace to a more supportive corner can have a huge impact on your ability to focus and produce quality work. I have worked with professional students who were feeling overwhelmed and fatigued, and just by making a few Vaasthu-based changes to their space, they begin to feel more energetic, more motivated, and far more productive. So, time management is important. Energy management is essential, but combining both with spatial energy alignment, that's where the real magic happens. If you found this useful and want to understand how your personal space can be optimized, feel free to reach out. I would love to help you align your space for focus, peace, and prosperity. Until next time, Dhanyavadaha.